Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, fellow Toastmasters. My name is Marvin Wiley Jr., and this is just a quick video on working through your project. Now, you can access your projects within your path two ways. One is this shortcut here. You'll click on Open Curriculum. The second way is through your educational transcript by clicking this button right here. I'm just going to click this shortcut here to open up the curriculum. Then we'll be able to open up a project. Now, the number one thing that you want to make sure of is that you have your pop-up blocker turned off, because if you don't have your pop-up blocker turned off, then this window here isn't going to open once you click on it. As you can see, it's always going to open up into a new window, and you always also want to make sure that you resize the screen to the point to where you'll be able to see all of the controls within your project. That way you can navigate. When it opens, there's not going to be any controls that you'll see, so you'll just simply drag the box or drag the arrow over until you're able to see all the controls, or you can simply maximize the screen by clicking on the maximize button. I'm just going to go to the beginning of the project. The very beginning is going to have an overview on how to navigate throughout the page. It'll indicate that there are different next and back buttons that you can click on to get through content that's within a page. If you were to click on these side arrows here, you would miss any content that's within that particular page, because sometimes you would click on different icons or buttons within the page that will open up more content. This drop down has several useful shortcuts to navigate throughout your page. Say, for example, you've already given your speech, or you already prepared your speech, you're just looking for your evaluation resources that you wanted to print out. You would go ahead and click your evaluation, and it'll take you directly to those resources. And also have your outline worksheet. You can also view your PDF version of the project. To navigate through the project, of course, you'll click these side arrows. It'll go from page to page. I recommend reviewing the checklist by clicking on it, and you can also download the checklist and save it onto your computer and get it printed out. This will walk through all the requirements that are necessary with completing your project. For example, the icebreaker, it says you will schedule it with the VPE, you write your speech, rehearse your speech, and after you completed all components of the assignment, log in, complete the second portion of your self-assessment on the Assess Your Skills After screen. And once you complete the Assess Your Skills After assessment, that's when you'll have project 2 and 3 unlocked for you, where you'll be able to move on to those additional projects. This is a useful tool to use as a checklist and to prove to your VPE that you have completed all those steps necessary with fulfilling this project. So I recommend using this as a tool just to verify that you've completed all of the tasks, and then you can get it signed off by your VPE if that's what your club requires. So for those requirements, you can speak directly to your VPE to see what they require for approving level completions and to verify that the projects have been completed. Now we're going to go back to the project here. Here you'll find your assessment for before. So before you even get started with your speech, you can just take a quick survey of how you feel about these particular questions on a scale from 1 to 5. It'll have some guidelines on what a 1 means, what a 2 means, 3 means, 4, 5, etc. Before you start it will be a little pop-up that will pop up. I'm not seeing that right now, or it's not popping up right now, because I've already completed and submitted the assessment. Once you get to the last question and you click on the response. Then you are going to see a submit button that'll pop up. I believe it's right down below here. You want to make sure you click the submit button to submit that part of the assessment. The same applies for the after your skills assessment. You want to click that submit button as well. And once that, but you don't want to click the after the skills assessment until, which you'll find right here. You don't want to complete the you don't want to submit your after skills assessment, which is found right here. It's showing just a review because I've already completed this assessment. I've already submitted it, but it'll be similar to what it looked like for your before your speech assessment. It's the same concept. And you'll just make sure that you click that after you present your speech, because it's going to mark your project as completed once you submit that assessment. And that works for all of the projects. And I highly recommend looking at the content within this project, especially those, of course, videos you'll find
every Toastmaster
throughout the project
20 times. And the very first time
where some Toastmasters will share their experiences. There's also a very useful outline worksheet that you can use as you're writing your speech. I highly recommend downloading that worksheet. There are different tips on how you can prepare and present your speech. You'll find a lot of valuable information within all of the projects. So I highly recommend reviewing the project materials and to see what all you can gain from the project itself as you're preparing and practicing your speech. And that would be how you would simply go ahead and work through your project. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks. Take care.